listen to this one because this is pretty heavy stuff. Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of the Jews entering the United States.
TruthFact is responsible for the content of this advertising.
It's 8 a.m. live, local. Your Fox 29 Morning News starts now.
It is Election Day, and all across the country, voters are heading to the polls to cast their ballots. We're taking a live look at New York, where both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are expected to vote this morning.
The race to the White House is considered to be extremely close in our state. In fact, it's a dead heat in a must-win state. Voters here, as you can see from the line forming there, are exercising their right to vote.
We have full team coverage this morning from the Palm Beaches to the Treasure Coast. Chris Stewart is also keeping an eye on the numbers nationally from the breaking news desk. But before we begin, we are hoping the weather holds up nicely as thousands of you we know head out to the polls. Felicia?
It's looking like a pretty good day out there. Let's break it down for you. Election 2016 in the mid 70s by 9 a.m. A little cooler inland, a light breeze today. It is going to be a little gusty at times, but not as windy as yesterday. Lower 80s by your lunch hour and mid 70s by 6 p.m. A nice mix of sun and clouds. So I'd say overall, can't really ask for better weather than that. I do want to point this out to you, though. We've got some cloud cover and very, very light, fast-moving showers that are going to want to race toward the Treasure Coast. So I do have some stray showers in the forecast here or there today. It's not going to be a washout by any means, but an umbrella is not a terrible idea. Low to mid-60s inland, mid and upper 70s along the coast, so definitely warmer along the coast this morning. If you're headed out to the inland, you might want a light sweater because, as I said, we do have a bit of a breeze as well. And just a couple minutes, I've got your full Tuesday forecast. We'll talk about a couple cold fronts this week and Veterans Day, plus your weekend outlook.
A lot more traffic out there early on as people head to the polls, so just be aware. We do have a new accident. This could be a doozy. This is in St. Lucie County. You should know Indian River Drive is closed between Midway and Walton. We have a bad wreck there, so watch out for that. Watching some of the drives along I-95, the entire stretch really accident-free. What fender benders there were already off to the side. The turnpike is up to speed, busier in southern Palm Beach County, heading into that Boca area, also into the Broward area, as to be expected. But fortunately for all of us, we're doing quite okay out there this morning. John?
All right, Holland, today thousands of you will be heading to the polls to cast your ballot for the next president and many other state and local races, as well as many other issues. Fox 29's Stephanie Susskind is live at one polling place in Port St. Lucie this morning with more. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning, John. Election day is in full swing. We're about an hour into voting today, and don't let this empty outside fool you. There is a long line inside here at Precinct 83 in Port St. Lucie. We're at Faith at Congregational Church, where there's been a steady line all morning long since the polls opened at 7 o'clock, and they just let a long line of people inside. So while it looks like there's no lines here, I think it's a different story once you get inside there. But so far, people have been telling us as they come out that things are going very smoothly here and they're not encountering any issues. Now, St. Lucie County has about 200,000 registered voters, and almost 100,000 of them did vote early. So hopefully that will help keep the lines down throughout the day today. We talked to several voters. One of them said they were supporting Donald Trump. The other said they were supporting Hillary Clinton. So it does seem to be a variety out here at this polling location. We do want to remind you, as you head out to the polls today, make sure you bring your valid photo ID with a signature, and make sure you go to your designated precinct. It's also a good idea to print out a sample ballot like this so you know what you're voting for before you go inside. It can help speed up the process. Reporting live in Port St. Lucie, Stephanie Susskind, Fox 29 News. We've got you covered.
Polls have been open for a little over an hour. Voting is now well underway, and leading up to today, preparations have been made to make sure your vote is secure and counted. Fox 29's Andrew Ruiz is live in Jupiter with the steps the Palm Beach County Supervisor of Election has taken. Andrew, good morning.
Roxanne, good morning. A lot of preparations go into putting on a general election, and much of the voters we spoke to this morning appreciate that. As you can see behind me, not much of a line here at the West Jupiter Rec Center. Earlier, though, we did shoot some video prior to the doors opening at 7 o'clock. Lines finally simmering down around 7:30, and it's what we're seeing across the county. So now is a good time to vote. But the supervisor of elections is assuring us that this election could not be rigged. There are claims lingering out there that does exist. Booker says because the system consists of paper ballots and is not connected to the internet, votes are secure. From the moment your ballot is scanned to the time it arrives at the main warehouse in Riviera Beach, Booker says there are checks and balances, and voters that I spoke to say that they are secure in their vote.
Pen, not pencil, so I don't think anyone's either not submitting my ballot. I put it right into the box so I know it's being recorded. I believe in the process we have. I know there's been reports about Russian hacking. If anything, I'd be more worried about that than anyone in there messing with anything.
Bottom line, Booker says suggesting the election could be rigged is insulting to her office. She says there are tons of checks and balances that are put in place to make sure that your vote is counted. The encouraging thing that we've seen this morning is that there are people who just turned 18 years old and are enthusiastic about this election, and they are going out to vote. We're live in Jupiter. Andrew Ruiz, Fox 29 News. We've got you covered.
I'm Chris Stewart, live in the newsroom following breaking news. Let's take you to Westchester County in New York. Live pictures here of Bill and Hillary Clinton at their polling location casting their ballots. Let's take these pictures full so you can get a look here at exactly what is going on. You see Bill Clinton there, Hillary Clinton standing right next to them. A very late evening for both of them. Very late evening for Donald Trump as well. The final rallies of the candidates ending in the early hours of this morning. Hillary Clinton touching down in White Plains, New York, near her home very early this morning as well, and up early to get in and cast their ballots. You see a very packed polling location here, a school in Westchester County, New York. Donald Trump expected to cast his ballot a little later on this morning in Manhattan, both of them holding their election night parties in New York City.
Well, Chris Shamus knew it was going to be a media frenzy, and it certainly is. Let's bring it back now to Florida and talk about voting here. A strong turnout ahead of today's election. More than 44% of all registered voters in the state voted early. Polls, as we've been saying this morning, opened about an hour ago in our area, and they'll close at 7 this evening. And don't forget to take some form of ID if you are going out to vote. Zipcar wants to get you to the polls with no hassle. So from 6 to 10 tonight, the company is offering free rides. Keep in mind the polls close at 7, so if you go out later than that, perhaps you're going to a watch party. All you have to do is reserve your ride on the Zipcar app. Also, Palm Tran is offering free rides all day. Passengers do have to show their voter ID to the driver when they board.
All right, Holland, the 8:07 right now. Throughout the country, voters can expect heavy security as they hit the polls today. The safeguards put in place to keep you safe at the polls.
But first, a Martin County couple found dead in their home, and now investigators say this might be a murder case. What led to the discovery and how neighbors are responding.
Good morning, South Florida.
Tonight at 10, live team coverage on Decision 2016 as we're looking at a possible change in the Senate, a new leader in Congress, as well as the White House.
A lot to cover. Jay and I have you covered starting at 10.
Now, there is no more challenging or exciting field than healthcare, and you can become a part of it. Join us at South University's College of Nursing and Public Health. We're assisting those who hear the call to serve, those who desire to join other dedicated healthcare practitioners. Right now, you can find your way, the South Way. Call or visit us online right now.
American families are working harder than ever, and seniors are struggling. While he lives in a lavish $700,000 home, Brian Mast has advice for voters.
Tighten the belt.
Tighten our belts? Brian Mast also wants to slash Medicare and privatize Social Security. Randy Perkins will fight to raise wages, increase Social Security, and protect Medicare. Randy Perkins, trusted, tested, and looking out for us.
I'm Randy Perkins, and I proudly approve this message.
I'm Dr. Neil Goldhaber. If you're suffering from sinus headaches, fatigue, or nasal congestion, I have the solution for you. Many of our patients have experienced significant relief from a minimally invasive office procedure called balloon sinuplasty. Performed in under 20 minutes with no general anesthesia and no downtime, imagine being able to breathe clearly again. See if the balloon sinuplasty procedure is right for you.
Don't tell your neighbor to see Dr. Goldhaber. Breathe better today.
How much is enough?
Mr. Perkins, on your $500 million contract, what is your profit on that?
For Randy Perkins, it's never enough.
I'm not going to divulge my profit margin.
Perkins' company made millions as people suffered after Hurricane Katrina. And a local school district even accused his company of grossly overcharging them hundreds of thousands of dollars. Randy Perkins, looking out for his bottom line, not ours. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I'm Bob Gordon. Every year, over 30,000 people die from falls in America, and millions are injured. When people consult with us regarding a trip and fall injury or death, our investigators often find the fall occurred because the property did not comply with safety codes. If you've been injured in a trip and fall, let us take a look. We may be able to help. Call Gordon and Donner at 333-3333. Gordon and Donner, for the injured.
Traffic on the go. Text traffic to 29,000, sponsored by your South Florida Honda dealers.
8:11 now is the time on this election day. Lawyers for Dontrell Stevens were in court to continue to fight to get the millions of dollars his lawyers say he's entitled to. Stevens is currently in rehabilitation, awaiting trial on drug charges. His attorneys were in court yesterday to get him the money he says he needs after he was shot by a Palm Beach County Sheriff's deputy, leaving him paralyzed. His attorneys are also asking them to garnish that deputy, Adam Lynn's, salary.
Developing this morning in Stewart, the Martin County Sheriff's Office is investigating the death of a couple as a murder-suicide. Detectives found their bodies inside of a home along Southeast Fleming Way in the Martin Crossings community. One of the woman's co-workers called when she didn't show up for work. Neighbors are stunned.
They were just so sweet. We just enjoyed them as neighbors.
It was shocking and very kind of like concerning to me because I was like, it could have happened anywhere, but it happened 2 doors down for me. So that's so crazy.
At this point, detectives are not releasing the couple's names.
A pretty scary and dramatic scene in Riviera Beach. From Chopper 5, you see a woman running toward a little boy wearing a Superman cape yesterday. Police say shortly before 11, a passenger in one car opened fire at someone in a second car along Martin Luther King Boulevard. Police are not releasing specifics about what happened, but apparently the little boy was in the shooter's car that crashed after the gunfire. The gunman got out of the car, grabbed the little boy and took off running. A witness saw what happened and then ran after the suspect to make sure the baby was okay.
And he said, this man took me. He's going to kill my baby. He's going to kill my baby.
The suspect ran to Marsh Harbor, that's a gated community complex, and went over the wall. Acting on a tip, police found the suspect and the child.
Let's take you live into the newsroom, continuing to take a look at live pictures of Bill and Hillary Clinton finishing up voting right now. This is outside of the school. Actually, here they are right here as we take these full. You can see a little bit blurry right now, but Bill and Hillary Clinton finishing up voting. Hillary Clinton going to be having her election night event in New York. This is just outside of New York City. Hillary Clinton returning after several key battleground state visits yesterday, returning to White Plains, New York very early this morning. You see the former president there by her side. Now, her opponent, Donald Trump, he is going to be voting in Manhattan a little bit later this morning, so we're going to be keeping a close eye on that as well. But Hillary Clinton, the first of the two to cast her ballot here on Election Day. Again, live pictures coming in from Westchester County in New York.
All right, Chris, let's stay on Election Day coverage now and beyond the candidates. There's another reason why this election is unprecedented. The level of security on this election day is like nothing we've ever seen. For the first time, hundreds of federal employees, including both military and intelligence cyber experts, are monitoring incoming intelligence to react to any threat to the federal government's communication and command systems. The scope of government readiness includes 6 national cyber centers and 54 state emergency operations centers. And as you go to the polls today, let's look at some of the early voting stats that are coming in this morning. Florida saw record turnout this time for early voting. Between mail-in and early voting in person, more than close to 6.5 million people got their votes in early. That's roughly half of the nearly 13 million active registered voters. Florida could surpass its overall vote total from 2012, as a matter of fact. During that presidential election, more than 8.5 million people cast their ballots.
Word of a warning. A woman from Riviera Beach, she got caught in the middle of a text scam. Someone tried to direct her, it seems, to the wrong polling location. The woman says she received a text telling her where to go to vote today, but it was the wrong precinct. It smelled like a scam to her, so she posted the text on Facebook to warn her friends and found out this has also happened to someone else she knows.
I posted it to all my friends, all of my groups, and I told them, you know, there are shenanigans afoot, and for everyone to beware, to go to the Supervisor of Elections website to find out where they're supposed to be voting.
Best advice there that we could give. The Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections Office says it has not received any reports about this particular incident yet. For the last hour, the Elections Office in Palm Beach County has been staffing a phone bank. They're there answering all of your questions. If you do have questions, if it's easier for you, you can also go to their website.
If you run into problems while voting, we are here to help you. You can send an email to our partner station. That email is newstips@WPTV.com. We will investigate the issue, or you can send a message to the WPTV Facebook page. You know, Election Day can be stressful, and all that stress can take a toll on your eating habits. Stress makes some folks tune out their hunger cues. Stress can make others turn into emotional eaters and cause them to mindlessly munch on snacks in an attempt to soothe their nerves. Doctors say the best way to combat stress or emotional eating is to be prepared to combat it.
If you are someone who is prone to emotional eating, know your triggers, know what stresses you out, be prepared. Also come armed with snacks. Helping to regulate your blood sugar throughout the day is going to keep your body stable and your emotions on a much better playing field.
Here's another idea. Keep things at your desk that will help reduce your anxiety, like maybe a stress ball. Allow yourself a 5-minute break to close your eyes and take some deep breaths.
I was thinking about that stress ball.
Yeah.
You know, technology has given us numerous ways to pay for things, but believe it or not, cash is still king. A study by the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco finds cash is still the most frequently used form of payment by consumers. It says cash was used in nearly 1/3 of all transactions, including bill payments, and surprisingly, it's millennials who use it the most.
See, I can't keep cash in my wallet. It just burns a hole straight on through. Here's a Black Friday deal that might beat a lot of them out there. Parents, you're listening to this one for the first time ever. 2 special edition models of the handheld Nintendo gaming system are going to be available for $100 on Black Friday. One model is black, the other is white, so your choice there. The price ranges, well, the price is $99.99. So there you go. Maybe you'll use cash on that. Felicia.
Thanks. Thanks a lot, Holly. Yeah, maybe. Lots of deals already starting to spring up out there. Talk about rushing through November already. We are starting out right now feeling very fall-like in portions of the area, a lot cooler inland and along the coast, and this is why. We've got this warm breeze coming in off the Atlantic, and that is helping to keep the coast a little bit warmer. You'll notice, could see a spotty shower here or there. It looks like maybe a very light shower moving through near Indiantown. A couple showers also off the coast, so stray showers are in the forecast today. This is going to continue to move that cloud cover and those showers in, although I think overall rain chances are low. 63 in Okeechobee, mid to upper 70s along the coast, 76 in West Palm Beach, 77 in Port St. Lucie, so you can see a big difference there. Your hour by hour forecast, we're in the mid 70s through 10 a.m. for most of us. Upper 70s by 11 a.m. and lower 80s by your lunch hour. A little breezy at times today, but not as windy as yesterday. Lower 80s through about 3 o'clock, and we're back in the upper 70s by 4 and 5 o'clock. We've got a couple cold fronts in the forecast for this coming week. One will move through late Wednesday into Thursday and not have a huge impact on our temperatures. Another one, though, will move through Saturday into Sunday, and that is going to cool our temperatures off quite a bit for Sunday and a bit into Monday as well. So for the next couple days, lower 80s. Rain chances are a little bit higher late Wednesday into Thursday as that cold front moves through. And then you'll notice slightly cooler temperatures for Thursday and your Veterans Day. Veterans Day looks absolutely gorgeous. Tons of sunshine in the lower 80s, really low rain chances. Saturday really looks like you couldn't ask for a better day. By Sunday, a little bit cooler thanks to that frontal passage, and upper 70s still on Monday.
Those temperatures keep getting better and better. For our viewers in St. Lucie County, let's start there. Keep in mind, Indian River Drive is still closed between Midway and Walton Roads from a bad wreck there. Looking good overall as we take a quick view of the Belvedere curve. A couple of accidents on I-95 north and southbound, mostly fender benders off to the side, not causing any major jams. Coming up on 8:20, the Fox 29 Morning News continues when we get back. It's a new challenge that's sweeping the internet. We're going to show you how it works.
And this girl's driving a hard bargain. But Mom, she's got it. She is ahead of the curve.
The trick she used to get the little girl to stop crying.
This one, because this is pretty heavy stuff. Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of the Jews entering the United States.
TruthFact is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Every person deserves a healthy and beautiful smile. At Affordable Dentures, we'll treat you with dignity and respect, and we'll get your smile back at affordable prices in a single day in most cases. Whether you need new dentures, replacement dentures, a partial, extractions, or an implant. Call 1-800-DENTURE or visit affordabledentures.com for valuable coupons. Please don't put this off. You deserve a healthy and beautiful smile.
I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message.
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? And you can tell them to go themselves.
You know, you could see there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her wherever.
You got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. You got to listen to this one because this is pretty heavy stuff. Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of the Jews entering the United States.
TruthFact is responsible for the content of this advertising.
It's your chance to win a free TV. Here is your keyword of the day. Now text it to 29,000 for your chance to win. Free stuff on WFLX Fox 29. We've got you covered.
Next live, it's Election Day.
I feel this is so topical to have a president of the United States in the House.
And we've got scandals Tony Goldwyn, Daveed Diggs from Blackish, and Miles Teller from Bleed for This. Plus, this Wednesday, special guest Megyn Kelly.
Today at 9 on Fox 29. Traffic on the go. Text traffic to 29,000. Sponsored by your South Florida Honda dealers.
Let's lighten things up. 8:22. Time now for one of our favorite segments. You've got to see this. Check it out.
Welcome. You've got mail.
No way! Recognize that voice?
Welcome.
It's the guy who does AOL mail greetings. Didn't take long to figure that out, right? One girl, she got a huge surprise. You just heard her reaction there, though. While recently taking an Uber, she was talking to the driver, and boy, did his voice sound like a dead ringer. That's because same guy. Yep, same voice. Through their conversation she learned in the 80s, his wife recorded him talking on a cassette and submitted it. And, well, you know the rest.
Yes.
That was really cool to hear him say that.
Right. Now we've all got mail.
Get in my
More
car.
than we want.
Yeah, true. What a surprise that was. Internet challenges are all the rage, and this one is gaining buzz all over again. It's called Andy's Coming. Andy's coming. Somebody hollers out, Andy's coming, to a large group. That's your challenge there. And all participants previously in motion immediately drop to the floor. This is all in reference to the Toy Story animated movies where all the toys go inanimate as soon as Andy comes in the room.
Oh my goodness.
Andy's coming.
Well, I remember that, but that is for anybody under the age of about 15, because anybody over 15, you will get permanent back injuries if you
can't
drop
get back
to the
up.
ground.
Wow,
So we have
really?
the mannequin challenge.
Yep.
And we have Andy's coming. Gosh.
I would need a
Keep
hand
up with all
up.
of them.
I'll do the mannequin challenge before I'll opt for Andy's coming, if you don't mind. If I get a choice.
Too funny.
All right, here, check out this little girl. She drives a hard bargain, and she's pretty young, but she's got it down. She'll stop her tantrum for the right price. She wants her mom to pick her up and hold her, but mom is busy cooking. So turn on the tears, and I am not stopping, she says. But then mom's got it down. She's got a solution. Would you like a snack, sweetie?
Yes.
Aha. The tears turn into smiles. So it shows, you know, no matter how young they are, the fastest way to anyone's heart is probably directly through their stomach, boy or girl.
That's hilarious. You know, a dad would have given her a snack right off the bat.
Or picked her up
Yeah,
right away.
Yeah.
Who needs cooking when you can pick up daddy's
Little
girl?
girls and their daddies. Oh, that's adorable. Felicia,
so
did you ever pull anything like that? You're kind of sometimes.
You know, I used to like to pretend like I was sleeping, and my mom would say, "Look at the puppy," and I'd wake up because I was never really sleeping, and I always wanted to see the puppy. She got me every time. We still laugh about that. Tracking the tropics for you. Tropics are quiet still, just over 20 days, about 22 days left in hurricane season, so things are continuing to wind down. We've got hazardous conditions for your boating and beach forecast today. Small crafts do need to use caution. A moderate chop on the inland water, so a tiny bit better than yesterday, but still hazardous. Your beach forecast, still a high risk of rip currents, dangerous rip currents out there. Surf will be building throughout the day, so if you were planning on beaching or boating, you have to be careful. I've got your full Election Day forecast coming up a little bit later in the show.
Coming up on 826 on this Tuesday morning, Election Day. We continue Election Day coverage as everyone heads to the polls, all eligible voters at the polls. We had some long lines earlier in St. Lucie County, but it looks like that's dissipated and you can walk in. My husband waited about 10 minutes at his polling place, but we'll keep you up to speed on all of that.
Voters are also heading to the polls around the country, ready to elect the nation's 45th president. A quick look from Cleveland. Locally, we've seen a decent turnout in the past 45 minutes.
I, Hillary Rodham Clinton, do solemnly swear that I will support...
Not so fast. Clinton destroyed 30,000 emails, many under subpoena. The FBI director said Clinton's claims on classified material were not true. Clinton has faced numerous criminal investigations, and 60% of Americans think she's not honest. Now the FBI has reopened the investigation of Clinton's email scandal. Should we elect a president too consumed by scandal to lead? Future 45 is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The home at 19 Walker Court. The agent. The rolling of sleeves. The look over. The look under. The application of dirt under fingernails. Turning over every rock. Turning over every chimney. Checking the nooks, checking the crannies, checking the walls. The floors, the gutters, the doors. Finding the flaw. Calling the specialist. Fixing it, cleaning it, prepping it, painting it, listing it, showing it, selling it. The sign of a RE/MAX agent.
We put our trust in products we buy, the professional and medical service providers we hire, and public safety in buildings or on the roads with other motorists. Injury is what can happen when this trust is broken. Have you suffered an injury due to negligence or a defective product? We can help. Call the trial attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivey, and Fraunrath. We'll fight for your rights. Call 1-800-4RIGHTS or inquire at foryourrights.com.
When disaster strikes, being safe and returning to normal is job one. For over a decade, Palm Beach, Martin, and St. Lucie counties have relied on us to clean up after the storm. They know us, they trust us, and they depend on us because we run our business with integrity, we treat people fairly, and we do the job right. I'm Randy Perkins. I approve this message because Washington can use someone in solving real problems for real people.
Act now. Get Xfinity Internet for just $19.99 a month for 12 months. Surf, email, browse, and download all for $19.99 a month. Or call 1-800-XFINITY and ask how you can get even more speed. Xfinity delivers faster, more reliable internet speeds than AT&T. AT&T can't give you the speed Xfinity does. Call 1-800-XFINITY to get started with Xfinity Internet for as low as $19.99 a month for 12 months. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Iran is a threat to peace. They sponsored terrorism. They murdered American troops in Iraq and have nuclear ambitions. The Obama administration's Iranian nuclear deal gave them billions. Congressman Patrick Murphy and Senator Bill Nelson supported the deal. And now the Iranian Sanctions Act is set to expire. Call Murphy and Nelson and tell them it's never too late to do the right thing. Support the Iran Sanctions Act extension. 45 Committee is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Coming up on 8:30, Decision Day in America. All over the country, people are making their way to the polls. Taking a live look now from New York, where Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton just left about 10 minutes ago. Getting word that Donald Trump will be voting in Manhattan a little later on, sometime today.
Here in our area, the scene is no different. Polling locations opened at 7 and people started coming in to make their voices heard.
We have team coverage from the Palm Beaches to the Treasure Coast, taking a look at the current situation at the polls and the special action that's being taken on this unprecedented election day to prevent voter intimidation.
First, though, we do want to get a quick check of your election day forecast. Felicia, I know we were talking a little bit about this earlier. You mentioned perhaps a light sweater, though it's later in the morning.
It's really pretty, though.
Yeah, it's really
Nice
pretty.
looking day.
It's still very cool inland, though. Along the coast, it's not the case. And also, I've been keeping a close eye on it. A stray shower or two along the coast, I'm not going to completely rule out. Let's take a look at what you can expect hour by hour for the next few hours for your Election Day 2016. By 9 a.m., most of us should be in the mid-70s, although, as I said, it's a bit cooler inland, more like the lower 60s inland. As we head into our lunch hour, we'll be in the lower 80s, and by 6 p.m. in the mid-70s. Of course, the sun will have gone down by then, the sun going down around 5:30. A nice mix of sun and clouds. Some cloud cover already starting to build in just a bit more along the Treasure Coast. You see this here. This is the winds carrying that cloud cover in off the Atlantic, and you'll notice couple little sprinkles embedded in those clouds. So if you're heading out to vote near the coast, I'd say go ahead and take your umbrella. If you have beach or boating plans today, you have to be careful. Small craft caution once again today, and a dangerous risk for rip currents, a high risk of rip currents. Coming up in just a few minutes, I'll talk about a couple cold fronts, and we'll take a look at your Veterans Day weekend.
Let's go to the road. Don't forget, no change since the last time we chatted. Indian River Drive, St. Lucie County, still closed between Midway Road and Walton Road. This is in St. Lucie County. Looks good, though. Other than that, not hearing of a lot of jams. We are hearing of more congestion for those of you traveling the I southbound this morning from about Atlantic Avenue to Congress. It is, that time of day. Other than that, it seems like a pretty decent commute. Roxanne?
All right, Holly, thanks. Well, 500 plus days of campaigning, and it's here. We've made it to Election Day, and today, thousands of you will head to the polls to cast your ballot for the next president and many other local and state races as well. Fox 29's Stephanie Susskind has been at one polling location all morning long. She's in Port St. Lucie with more on how it's going there. Stephanie, good morning.
Good morning, Roxanne. We are at Precinct 83 in Port St. Lucie. This is a Faith Congregational Church, and you can see a stream of people coming out of the church right now after casting their ballots. It's been very busy here all morning long. I just spoke to a couple of voters who walked outside. They told me they just waited a couple of minutes inside. There was a line of maybe 20 people or so, and it was a very quick and easy process to cast their ballot. They say no issues inside, and that is certainly some good news. But we've seen the line here all morning long. A couple of people even lining up around 6:30 before the polls opened at 7 o'clock this morning. Polls have been open now about an hour and a half. In St. Lucie County, there's about 200,000 registered voters. Almost 100,000 of them voted early, so hopefully that will help keep the lines down today. Now remember, if you are heading out to the polls today, bring your valid photo ID with your signature and make sure you are going to your designated precinct based on where you live. Of course, we'll be keeping track of all of the polls today, and we'll let you know if any issues arise. Reporting live in Port St. Lucie, Stephanie Susskind, Fox 29 News. We've got you covered.
Stephanie, thank you. Extra precautions are in place for the elections. The Justice Department announced that it will monitor polls in 28 states. Florida is among those on the list. Fox 29's Andrew Ruiz is live in Jupiter this morning with more on that. Andrew, how's it going out there?
Hey, John, good morning. The line's here getting a little bit shorter. In fact, there is no line here at the West Jupiter Rec Center, but it's going to be the DOJ that is going to be at polling sites like this location all across Palm Beach County. Palm Beach County is one of 5 Florida counties where people from the DOJ's Civil Rights Division will be on hand to prevent voter intimidation. Attorney General Loretta Lynch says the goal is to make sure no one stands in the way of people who can vote. Now, the Justice Department has been doing this since the Voting Rights Act was passed in the 60s. The DOJ is actually going to be handling complaints related to voting rights. The U.S. Attorney's Office is going to be handling any complaints that come up to elections fraud. Again, we do know that there is a lot of security at these locations, and we've heard from the supervisor of elections that they are doing everything in their power, taking extra steps to make sure that your vote is counted and secure. We're live in Jupiter. Andrew Ruiz, Fox 29 News. We've got you covered.
And a reminder, if you do have a vote by mail ballot, you don't want to put it in the mail. If you've got an absentee ballot, it's too late to mail it. Only ballots now delivered to the supervisor of elections today will be counted. So if you've got that ballot physically, you've got to just physically turn it in to your county's supervisor of elections office. It will not be accepted at polling locations. A short school week for students in Palm Beach County starting with today because classes are canceled to make way for voters at schools that double as polling locations. And then this Friday, classes are canceled. It's a holiday because the district is recognizing Veterans Day.
PalmTran, Palm Beach County's public transportation system, is giving out free rides to customers with a valid voter ID card today. All you've got to do is show it to the bus driver when boarding.
Well, here live in the newsroom, I want to show you some pictures that we're getting in. Just tweeted out from a reporter with the NBC station in New York from the precinct where we're expecting to see Donald Trump cast his ballot at some point this morning. This is in Manhattan, some security on hand. Trump Tower, the roads around Trump Tower today going to be closed down as well. A real sense of heightened security in New York today. We just saw Hillary Clinton cast her ballot. Take a look at this video. This is in Westchester County, New York, where she lives. She and Donald Trump had rallies that went into the early hours of this morning. Hillary Clinton touching down around 3 o'clock this morning in White Plains, New York, nearby, and then casting her ballot ahead of a day that will make history for either Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. Both of them not going to be far from each other tonight. They both have their election night parties in New York City. This is the first time since 1944 that both candidates have been in the same place on election night.
All right, Chris, thank you. 8:36 is the time, and that means we are minutes away from the Fox 29 Pulse.
Indeed we are. And Holland, you have a lot of stories that will have folks talking about Florida.
We do, because it seems like Florida, seriously, is always in the national headlines. You've heard of the hashtag only in Florida. Well, here's the thing. Election day is no different. So we'll talk about why some people are calling our state the most attention-seeking in America. What are they calling us, desperate? Also, we'll kind of chat about the mindless task that a new study says we spend 23 minutes doing every single day, and we don't even realize it.
This one, because this is pretty heavy stuff. Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of the Jews entering the United States.
TruthFact is responsible for the content of this advertising.
This is Mike's office. If he doesn't show up, he doesn't get paid. Too often, Marco Rubio didn't show up and failed us when he did. I am Patrick Murphy. To get things done, you've got to show up. You've got to work together. Whether it's protecting Social Security and women's health care or growing the economy, we've got to start solving problems instead of pointing fingers. I am Patrick Murphy, and I approve this message because I'll never stop working for you.
I'm Bob Gordon. If you've been in an accident with a tractor trailer, let me give you some advice. The trucking company has investigators on the case right now, so should you. Time is of the essence. Evidence disappears. We have a crash team that can be on the scene as soon as possible, securing evidence that may be important to the outcome of your case. All cases are not the same. Don't wait. Call 333-3333. Gordon and Donner, for the injured.
Putting a wife to work is a very dangerous thing. When I come home and dinner's not ready, I go through the roof. Grab them by the and when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
More accusers coming forward to say they were sexually assaulted by Donald Trump.
And I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed.
Donald Trump walked into the dressing room while contestants, some as young as 15, were changing.
And they're standing there with no clothes. You see these incredible looking women.
I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers.
She ate like a pig.
A person who's flat-chested is very hard to be a 10.
So you treat women with respect?
I can't say that either.
All right, good.
I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message.
You got to listen to this one because this is pretty heavy stuff. Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of the Jews entering the United States.
TruthFact is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The Fox 29 app.
Powered by Mullenix Ford.
We're back now at 8:40, and there's good news in the fight against the Zika virus. Researchers say they may have a new method to protect unborn babies from Zika. Our Fox 29 medical expert, Dr. David Soria from Wellington Regional Medical Center, joins us with more on this groundbreaking study. This sounds very exciting. What is it?
Yeah, well, we haven't talked about Zika in a while, and it was hot, for a long, long time. And then for over the past month, we haven't really mentioned much about it, but know this, that it hasn't gone away. So what's exciting here is that really we can say that this is the first time there has been any medical intervention that has shown to be protective against the infection. And what it shows is that for the first time, we really believe that now Zika probably is treatable. For a long time, we didn't know that. We didn't have anything that proved that. Well, this shows what these scientists did was they isolated a monoclonal antibody out of the human body and they injected it into mice. Now know this, though, that mice don't inherently get Zika virus, so the study has its flaws, but at least in mice, that antibody did show protection from transmitting the Zika virus from the mouse to the placenta into the mice pups.
So has it advanced beyond mice?
Well, no, not yet.
Okay.
However, what it shows is that now more research will be warranted and that we probably have a lot more promise with certain research. And what it does is it helps scientists redirect or what to look at. And also, it helps us now have a lot more faith and confidence in the up-and-coming vaccine that we devised, knowing that at least we think that that'll be protective, because there's some similarities there. With the vaccine, they took Zika virus, inactivated it with chemicals, and then they're using the Japanese encephalitis vaccine, and we really feel that those testing in humans are going to go very positively.
So let's talk quickly about that. Is that harmful to the unborn child? They've shown there's been no risk involved with getting the vaccine?
That's right. So right now, there hasn't been any risk shown. And what's promising about this one study as well is that at least in the mice, pups, and the fetus, there was no complications at all, or no injury or any problems with the fetus after given the antibodies. So it really seems to isolate or hone in on just the Zika virus itself, which is great news.
So there's some hope on two different fronts now in fighting the virus,
That's
correct?
right, that's right.
So, but the research continues.
Research continues, but I think we're very, very close. And obviously our number one priority is protecting pregnant women against Zika virus. So that's what we're looking at.
All right, well, let that be the final word. Dr. Soria, thanks for your time. Let's send things over to Felicia.
Thanks a lot, Rox. Let's get straight to your Election Day forecast. A couple things I want to point out to you here. Looking out over Peanut and Singer Island, you'll notice the camera is bobbling around, and that's because we do have a breeze. It's not going to be as windy today as it was yesterday, but still a little breezy. Tons of sunshine right now. However, I am seeing some cloud cover out there and a few stray showers as well. These northeasterly winds coming off the Atlantic going to continue to carry in some of this cloud cover and a stray shower or two. So if you are heading out to vote, you see it here racing toward the coast. An umbrella is not a bad idea, but rain chances are overall fairly low today. Much cooler inland than it is along the coast, but starting to warm up. Okeechobee, you were in the upper 50s this morning, lower 70s now. Along the coast, mid and upper 70s, even 80 degrees in Port St. Lucie, 74 in Vero Beach. Hour by hour forecast shows we're in the lower 80s by your lunch hour, warming up as we head toward the afternoon. A little breezy, a nice mix of sun and clouds, and just a stray shower chance. The sun does set at 5:30, so keep that in mind as you're making your voting plans. We're going to have a cold front move through Wednesday into Thursday. That won't have a huge effect on our temperatures. And then another front Saturday into Sunday that will have more of an effect on our temperatures. You'll see that in the 7-day forecast. So let's go ahead and take a look at that here. You can see 7-day forecast, lower 80s through Thursday. Slightly higher rain chances Wednesday. Ahead of that cold front. Friday for Veterans Day looks gorgeous. Tons of sunshine, low rain chances, and Saturday's looking pretty good as well. This weekend as a whole, not bad. I will say we'll keep an eye on that forecast though, because as that cold front moves through Saturday into Sunday, it's going to make us a little bit cooler. Mid 70s on Sunday, upper 70s for your Monday.
I will say I'm loving it, especially those nighttime temps. Gosh, it gets better and better. Better and better here too. 15 minutes to go before the morning commute. It's officially over. We've done well so far. We do still have the little issue going on Indian River Drive in St. Lucie County, so watch out for that right around Midway Road. Well, Bright Congress, your action right there. Time now for your Fox 29 Pulse. Join the conversation on social media using the hashtag Fox29 Pulse. We'll get these two to stop real quick, and we'll start with our first story. There's a new article out there, and, well, surprise, surprise, it says Florida is a major swing state in the election. No,
What?
you don't say.
When did that happen?
But here's the thing. It says that because apparently Florida loves attention.
You know it.
Right now, Hillary Clinton holds just a 1-point lead over Donald Trump. That's not even enough to win in a tennis game if you think about it from that perspective. The article goes on to joke that Florida knows it is a crucial, kind of playing a pivotal role in the election. That's why the state will hold off on giving an answer for president for as long as it can, because we want the attention. And when there's not an election, the article touts that we're constantly making national headlines with weird news stories. No, we really are.
That's
That's
true.
what we do.
Yeah, that is true.
Some of the hashtag always trends only in Florida. I mean, some of the stories that come out of this place. Last week it was a mailbox that was shaped in the form of a male genitalia.
That's just par for the course in Florida.
In Florida.
Yeah, I mean, politically, though, I think it's fun. You know,
I know.
You know,
weird.
No, it is fun though. I will say, you know, especially with this presidential race, we've been covering it here for a long time, and
Almost
the amount
2
of
years.
attention that you get from the candidates on the trail, it's fun to cover, and I think it makes it fun to live here. You know, I remember back on the primary day, I covered, you know, Donald Trump one day, and I was covering Hillary Clinton the next. There's not a lot of states where you get to do that.
I mean, even in the last election, it was 4 days after
that was a bad
counted,
thing. Yeah.
when Florida, you know, finally chimed in, and of course 2000. But by the way, you know, my favorite Florida mailbox is the manatee mailbox. Have you seen those?
Yeah, those are a little
Where it's like a
quirky.
manatee, like holding your mailbox. I don't know. I went to
Not
the Keys
judging,
recently,
not
and they were
judging.
everywhere. Sorry. I want to take my mind off
Only
the
in
other
Florida.
mailbox. Yeah.
Only in Florida.
That is only in Florida.
Only in Florida.
Some
Yes.
manatee.
What's it? One more time, Glenn.
Just
there. Oh, okay, there we go.
It's a cute mailbox.
Sea cow, it is.
Okay, so you ever feel like you spend more time searching for something to watch on TV rather than actually watching TV? Well, a new study says you are right. Researchers found that the average American will waste 23 minutes every day trying to find something to watch. That's 1.3 years of your life sorting through the TV guide. I will tell you, I am not one of those people. When I find something to watch, which isn't often, I don't watch TV often, but when I find something to watch, even if it starts being terrible, you've got my commitment. I've got to see it through and finish it out.
You're
And
one of those.
if I'm with a flipper, it drives me crazy. I'm like, you got to stop changing the channel. You got to
Just find
pick
something
something
and stick with
and
it.
leave it.
I think we're kind of lucky because of our shift. We miss a lot of the prime time, the great shows that come on late at night. So when I go home, I mean, everything is laid out for me. I know it's going to be Madam
on your
Secretary,
DVR, you know you're gonna-
Chicago Fire. We love the
Chicago Fire's great. I do have to get caught up on
series,
that.
yeah.
I have the attention span of a gnat when it comes to television, unless it's like a
Really?
sporting event. So
Yeah.
I'm constantly changing. I could be loving the show, and I still
So you guys couldn't sit
like
down.
Netflix. Like Netflix, I like fast forward through. It's bad.
Really?
I got to work on it.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
That gave me anxiety just thinking about it.
Yeah, I know. I just I'm
like
terrible
you.
to watch
I
television
stay
with.
pretty committed. I mean, I was watching an awful movie on Showtime this week, but my husband's like, "What are you?" And I had to finish it.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it
Did
might
it finish
get better.
well?
It
Just
didn't-
finished
it-
awful.
It
The whole
didn't
thing
get
was
better.
awful.
Let me put it that way.
The whole thing was terrible.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, let's move to an issue that's just really close to my heart, and that's opinion on high heels in the workplace. Why did I get this story? Well, many women find it boosts their confidence. 2 reporters had a conversation about it on Facebook Live. The male reporter asked the female to show the audience how tall she was in the shoes and called her out, saying they were too high. The woman explained, saying that when she stands next to her coworker on air, she wants to appear as tall as he is. Some women say being tall makes them feel empowered. I have nothing really to add to this
Well, no, you
story.
do, because you and I end up in this predicament quite a
We
bit.
do.
Well, let's show them. I stand
like
up.
what we're like in real life here?
And
yeah, this is.
how tall are you?
I'm like 6'2".
Let me come up. So,
But Holly
I'm
has
gonna back
heels
up.
on as well.
So
character
I
from, like,
have
a TV.
heels on. So a lot of times they have to bring in a box.
Yeah, you do stand on
Because
the
I
box.
still.
Yep.
I mean, especially standing near you. So I get what she's saying, and these are 4-inch heels.
Yeah, I'm constantly. People stand next to me on television. They constantly
Look
need
at
like
that,
a box or
Chris.
something. I know.
That's ridiculous.
I know. I like unfurl like one of those like used car sales. Like yeah, just got a
flailing arm, inflatable arm.
Wild,
that is
inflatable too, man.
such a funny thing. Yeah, no,
Big dude.
I think we're brainwashed to think that heels equate to like being fancier and more work appropriate. I know there are definitely days I come into my tennis shoes, people are like your tennis shoes, and I'm like, I'd love to leave them on, and I have to put on my heels.
You wear some cute ones though. Well, I've had to start wearing sandals just because of my belly, but I feel better in heels personally.
See, and I think it's because we equate that with
Not
being
right
more
now,
dressed
but
up.
overall. No, I do. I feel more put together, more polished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't
I
feel
feel
good on your
frumpy
feet
when I'm wearing
Really?
flats.
Yeah.
I think it's because I'm so short. So you put me in flats, and we talked about this last week, jeans. It's
Yeah.
a bad day.
Oh.
I married like a flip-flops. I married a flip-flops and sandals girl, so I
I do like flip-flops,
she's,
yeah.
When she does put on heels, I'm like,
Her, laid back.
Yeah.
what are you doing there? All right, the holidays can be a stressful time. Yes, they can. Especially when you have extended family coming to your house, which we always do. There are countless hours of cleaning that go into getting your home ready, and one mother does not want her children messing up any of her hard work. This mom taped off the living room with a note explaining this room was off limits until Thanksgiving. She did put a list of special permissions to get into the room, but you must be clean from head to toe. You must be wearing fresh clothing, and absolutely no food or drinks are allowed
I love that.
in the living room
Get out.
until Thanksgiving, when Uncle Bob comes over and ruins everything.
That's great.
Love that.
That's a great story.
Getting the house ready for guests is just so stressful, you
Yeah.
know, because you get accustomed to what your house looks like. You don't really look around critiquing how clean, normally it is, or at least
And
we
isn't
don't.
it funny that literally probably 5 minutes after they walk through the house, the guest,
Yep.
Disaster.
It's done.
Out of there.
Suitcase, clothes,
you have
everything.
like luggage marks on the
No.
floor.
On
All
the
right.
on the stairway. they
We've got to
bang
get
the
to this
wall.
real quickly.
Sorry.
They're telling
Terrible
me.
guest.
Word of the day, your chance to win a free 50-inch TV. Take it. All you have to do, listen out. You ready? Here we go. Text this to 29,000. We'll call you. Today's keyword is bada bing, bada bang, bam. You knew it. Election.
perfect timing.
Because of course, WFLX Fox 29 is the place to be to get your election results and coverage. So
And
hurry
the
up.
television.
Make sure you text that. Yeah, and a TV. We've already had some winners.
Yeah.
John Rocks, over to you.
All right, it's 8:51 coming up on 8 minutes before 9 o'clock. We're going to have the Fox Light and some news about Brangelina. A custody battle is now brewing between Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. The motion just filed in court last week, just ahead.
And Pixar just released another short animated film, the touching story of its newest character, Piper.
4 floors of Fords.
4 floors of Fords.
4 floors of
Wait a minute. Mullinax Ford's 4 floors of Fords may be hard to say, but it makes buying your next vehicle oh so easy.
4 floors of Fords.
That's a lot of vehicles. That's Mullinax.
I, Hillary Rodham Clinton, do solemnly swear that I will support.
Not so fast. Clinton destroyed 30,000 emails, many under subpoena. The FBI director said Clinton's claims on classified material were not true. Clinton has faced numerous criminal investigations, and 60% of Americans think she's not honest. Now the FBI has reopened the investigation of Clinton's email scandal. Should we elect a president too consumed by scandal to lead? Future 45 is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I'm Scott Smith with Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath. South Florida is a great place to live and call home. For over 30 years, our firm has had the privilege of helping thousands of injured victims in Palm Beach County, the Treasure Coast, and beyond. We are more committed than ever in fighting for the rights of the injured. In the courtroom or in the community, we are always here to help. Call us at 1-800-4RIGHTS or visit us at foryourrights.com.
I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message.
People in the upper echelons of the military are very concerned about the things that Mr. Trump has already said he's going to ask the military to do.
Talk of maybe using nuclear weapons. Nobody wants to hear that about an American president.
Why are we making them?
A foreign policy expert went to advise Donald Trump, and 3 times he asked, if we have them, why can't we use nuclear weapons?
Back in 1975, Mullinax Ford invented upfront pricing. We own it. Upfront pricing means our lowest price is clearly marked on every car and truck. It's simple. No add-on fees, no haggling. It's car buying made easy. That's upfront pricing. That's Mullinax.
Weather, breaking news, investigations. Get it live, get it first. Watch your number one 10 p.m. news. The WFLX Fox 29 10 o'clock news. We've got you covered.
This election night, every vote counts. Every voice is heard. As results come in, Shepard Smith has all the critical coverage. Don't miss a minute of election night coverage on Fox.
News on the go. Text news to 29,000. Sponsored by El Dorado Furniture.
Coming up on 5 minutes before 9 o'clock, time for the Fox Light. The saga between Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt has heated up again. A representative said the two had reached a custody agreement that gave Jolie sole custody of the 6 children. Last Friday, however, there was a request filed to be awarded joint custody. Now in California, judges usually will grant joint custody unless there are some serious circumstances that suggest it should not happen.
Margot Robbie is getting deeper into producing. The Suicide Squad star, who's already developing several projects, has acquired the rights to the novel Beautiful Things. It's about a mother and son trapped in a zoo with a gunman. Ooh, that'll be good. No word on whether she will also star in the film.
The latest Pixar short film, Piper, has the internet buzzing these days. It tells the tale of a ridiculously cute sandpiper bird and her quest to go out into the world on her own. It's 6 minutes long, but according to the reviews, it's the best 6 minutes you'll spend all day. You can find it on Amazon for $2.99. Okay, I'm in.
Yeah, me too.
That's adorable.
It makes 3 or 4 of us. Exactly.
I love those little birds running up and down the shore.
I know.
Really cute there. Well, if you're running up and down the shore today, be careful. We've got, well, I guess if you're on the shore, you're okay. But we do have a high risk of rip currents, so I want you to be careful if you head out into the water.
In case you fall in.
In case you happen to get pulled in, be careful. Let's talk about what you can expect for your 7-day forecast. Lower 80s today. A stray shower or two is possible, so an umbrella is not a terrible idea if you're waiting in a long line, but otherwise a great day. Lower 80s, a little breezy, mix of sun and clouds. Veterans Day looks beautiful. The weekend looks pretty good. I mean, I'll tell you, there's not a lot to complain about there.
There isn't. It's paradise.
Yes, exactly.
Over and over again.
Thanks, everyone, for hanging out with us. The day is young. Our election coverage just now starting.
Your vote counts. Make sure you head to the polls and then join us at 11 a.m. this morning for more on Today on 5 at 11.
Until then, bye-bye.
Miles Teller and Scandal's president, Tony Goldwyn.
See, we got a president for election day. Impressed?
Next live.
Today at 9 on Fox 29.
You gotta listen to this one because this is pretty heavy stuff. Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of the Jews entering the United States.
TruthPack is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Do you need perfect credit?
Nope.
Want to buy a car but can't get it?
Yep.
Ever been to drive time?
Nope.
Get a real down payment online.
Yep.
Rejection?
Nope.
Huge selection?
Yep.
In the mood to get you to groove?
Nope.
Just 2 minutes gets you approved?
Yep.
Wasn't that the exit?
Nope.
No. Hey, we're good at this.
Nope.
Aww.
Get approved and know your down payment before you shop. Only at Drive Time.
Yep.
How much is enough?
Mr. Perkins, on your $500 million contract, what is your profit on that?
For Randy Perkins, it's never enough.
I'm not going to divulge my profit margin.
Perkins' company made millions as people suffered after Hurricane Katrina. And a local school district even accused his company of grossly overcharging them hundreds of thousands of dollars. Randy Perkins, looking out for his bottom line, not ours. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Behind every car crash, there's a story about a teenage girl driving from school with her friends, a single mom on her way to her second job, or a family that struggles. Accidents like these didn't need to happen because someone didn't need to text and drive. If you've been injured by a distracted driver, you need the money to help deal with your struggles. Call Kogan and DeSalvo now, 800-707-9111.
American families are working harder than ever and seniors are struggling. While he lives in a lavish $700,000 home, Brian Mast has advice for voters.
Tighten the belt.
Tighten our belts? Brian Mast also wants to slash Medicare and privatize Social Security. Randy Perkins will fight to raise wages, increase Social Security, and protect Medicare. Randy Perkins, trusted, tested, and looking out for us.
I'm Randy Perkins, and I proudly approve this message.
Hey, sis, come on in. Dad's on the phone with Uncle Bill.
On the phone? He hasn't used the phone in a while. He can't hear well enough.
Right, but we gave him a CapTel captioned phone. Now he can read what's being said.
Then he almost flipped over.
Staying connected has never been easier. With a Sprint CapTel caption telephone, you see everything your caller says.
Looks like Dad's going to be on the phone a lot more now.
Learn more about this free service at CapTelOffer.com.
You gotta listen to this one because this is pretty heavy stuff. Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of the Jews entering the United States.
TruthVac is responsible for the content of this advertising.
How long is it going to be until I get to go on the show?